Good morning, Jackie. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Ooh, listen to those vocal tones. You even speak in tune. Oh, my God. Even at this morning.
Thank you.
I love your journey. Your journey has all been about, from the gospel music to the presentation of where you are today. And I've always believed that God works through each and every one of us, and he will find that stage for us if we just put ourselves out there and make ourselves available.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
To go through that, though, because so many people, they don't want to put themselves out there. They want to just go, okay, I'm fine. I don't want to go where I'm going to be judged.
Yeah. It's a complete challenge for real. I feel like I always kind of kept myself in a shell, and I used to be just so timid and scared, and I really didn't want to put myself out there, but it was the people around me that really kind of pushed for me to like get up on stage, and they saw the potential in me, so they kept pushing, and then eventually I just started to see the potential in myself.
I've always wondered what happens to someone like yourself, 20 years old. You're on NBC's The Voice, and the show, you go out and you have some success with your career, but do you become a leader in local government, in state government? Because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in front of people. Many people don't have people skills like that.
I mean, I would love to lead through music.
Yeah.
I would like, for me, so many songs have gotten me through such a tough time that, like, especially just like one of my newest songs is about like body positivity, and I
Yes.
feel like I have just a big message of like showing it's okay to love yourself, and like I feel like the many of the things that I want to do in my career is inspire other people to love who they are for how they look and what's on the inside, and know that they're beautiful already. And I feel like through music you could inspire so many other things, or just like share your story of like past events to make someone feel better about their story as well.
Yeah. Listeners need to understand that when we talk about self-love, that's not conceit. That's not overconfidence. That is truly understanding the mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's so easy to feel knocked down because of what others have to say about you anytime, like on the internet or maybe even to your face, that you really have to put in the work of telling yourself how beautiful you are, because if you don't, then when someone says a negative thing, it really will affect you.
Yeah. And, and that also includes, I think one of my daily disciplines is I'll stand in front of the mirror and I'll say, what is your intention today? I need you to tell me what your intention is today, and what is the positive outcome going to be?
I love that. I feel like manifestation and affirmations and talking in the mirror is like exactly what helped me to see that I had beauty, because I would look in the mirror and say like, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy. And I thought it was funny like in the beginning, because I'm like, what am I doing? But like eventually you really start to believe what you say.
Yeah. One of the things that I do, I keep a daily defrag journal. I call it defragging, because if we can defrag a computer, we can defrag ourselves. But I ask the questions and I question the answers. And it really is asking yourself those questions, because we waste so much time asking people other questions that we forget to ask ourselves those questions.
That is true.
And as creative people, it's like, I mean, we're like everybody else. We don't understand why we're doing this. We're just doing this because we're called to do it.
Yeah.
And you're doing it at a level that, oh my God, I mean, at singing music in church. I mean, this has been with you your entire life.
Absolutely. And I've definitely felt called to do it my whole life.
How did you answer that call?
How did I answer that call?
Yeah.
I feel like I just continually put myself out there. Like, it really what it is just like, if you know you're meant to do something, even if because it's been super hard, but you can never stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Performing at the Apollo, we're talking about the world's toughest crowd. How did you do?
I made it to the semifinals at the
Woo!
Apollo. Yeah, it was crazy because you could literally get booed off of the stage, and nobody booed me. I actually got a couple standing ovations, and it was the coolest experience of my life.
Have you sat down with Gene Taylor and talked to him about his experience with the Apollo?
I know he has the opposite
Yeah, he
experience.
did. He did.
I love Gene.
See, and I love the fact that you guys on NBC's The Voice, you really are a family. And in this chapter
Absolutely.
number 25, I mean, it's just I just love to hear the stories of how you guys all collaborate.
Oh, absolutely. It's crazy because you would think since it's a competition, everyone would be like fighting for themselves, but as soon as you get there, it's like, I mean, at least with my crew of people, everybody just wanted to be friends and make genuine connections and like lift each other up. And I think that's something that's super beautiful.
That's the story I want to read. I want to read someone's book about the afterlife of NBC's The Voice, because it's because it disappears. I mean, we're having this conversation today. It's on a podcast. It's going to be heard for 100 years. But the thing is, though, we don't know the story after NBC's The Voice.
Yeah. I mean, my goal is for sure that I can make a mark after this, and I have a lot of goals of just like releasing music and touring, and that's definitely my goal for after the show.
We have something in common. Debbie Gibson. I've been with Debbie Gibson. I love her personality. I love everything about her. And you performed a Debbie Gibson song.
Yeah, I performed a Debbie Gibson song, but also she's been my mentor since I
Oh
was
my God.
Yeah, she's been my mentor since I was about 14, and she took me on tour with her, and she wrote a song for me, and she played the piano while I sang that song. It was wild.
Don't you love her energy? Because I was a jock on the radio in Billings, Montana when Debbie Gibson first appeared on the radio, and we didn't know who she was going to be, but I mean, she has just become this place in music history.
Absolutely. She's a beacon of light. Her energy is so cool, and she's so willing to like help pass the torch to younger artists. It's truly wonderful.
Yeah. I love what you're doing with your social media connection with singing the cover songs. I attended a lecture recently where a man said that you should release on YouTube a cover song every week, and on the fifth week release an original, then go back to releasing cover songs, and then release an original, and then after about 6 months release your album, because you brought people to your page through the covers, but then they heard the originals.
Oh, I've never heard of that technique before.
And he just said this is how you make it in the music industry today, because people like cover songs.
Yeah, they really do. I might have to try that.
And one of the things that you and I have in common is the fact that we both have done weddings. We know the wedding
Oh,
business.
yeah. Yeah.
How do you, as a performer, how do you prepare for that performance?
I mean, it's usually like some weddings could be up to like a 4 hour
Yep.
performance. And so it's really just like listening to the repertoire as much as you possibly can and practicing. I feel like a lot of times people are just so high and
Yep.
everyone's so happy and like dancing. And so that's definitely like a really fun crowd.
And people are dressed up. That's what I love. Everybody they're looking good.
They're looking sharp.
Yeah. Now, have you had one of those moments where you've got somebody in the crowd that's always going to say, hey, this dance floor moving, play the cha-cha slide? Do they ask you for stuff like that?
Yeah, but we have a set repertoire, and we can't play anything else.
Yep. I know. I totally get that, because that's the way that to me, the weddings of 2024 have moved that way. They just give me a Spotify list and say, do not get off this list.
Yeah. I feel like the thing that I'm learning most with NBC's The Voice is really just giving 100% of yourself on the stage, because in my blind audition, I think I let fear take over, but then with this battle round, I was 100% confidence. Like, I watched it back and I was like, who is that? Because I was moving around and I was singing, and it honestly was one of my absolute favorite performances. So just like, I would say the biggest thing I've learned is just trusting in yourself and having that confidence. And I feel like John really, really instills that in you as well.
I got to give you a compliment. I was talking with Bill an hour before you and I got to talk, and you were already checked into Zoom. I love that about you, that you come prepared. I know that says a lot about you. Trust me, it really does.
Thank you.
Yeah, so keep that attitude and that discipline going.
Absolutely.
What's your website so people can find you?
JackieRomeo.com.
I love it. Simple, to the point.
To the point.
Please come back to the show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you, Jackie.
Thank you so much.
You be brilliant today, okay?
You too.